Without a doubt, this is one of the most confusing years for investors and traders in recent memory because we have so many conflicting policies and market behavior is completely irrational. Now we see Ethereum, and we see that Ethereum actually had pretty good run, and right up until, I would say, middle of last week, it was at pretty high levels as rest of the major crypto markets. But then at Friday afternoon, markets went berserk. So they went from 4,300 and I would say 95 and felt like a cliff to 3,450 in a matter of hours. So what happened? Probably someone knew something and made quick sell order, because this happens when markets are unregulated. Someone had inside information about Trump's decisions, and probably this short move wiped out huge amounts of trading capital for traders who were unaware of that. Yes, markets are slightly rebounding and close to previous levels, but we don't see whether this will be beginning of larger move or simply one-time sell order. That yet remains to be seen, because China's trade tariffs are still in place. In crypto markets, we have huge uncertainties and huge volatility, which is not good for long-term crypto believers, but exceptionally good for short-term traders. But if we look at the daily chart, for instance, we see also that Ethereum itself, it's at pretty good level if we look at last couple of years. So we are still close to all-time high, and we have nothing to worry about. And similar pattern actually is with major markets as well. If we look at bond yields, we see that bond yields are at, I would say, relatively stable levels. They were going higher at 4.8%. This is 10-year treasury yields, from lower point of 3.6% in September 2024, and now they are fluctuating at 4.3 to 4%. So they are pretty stable. I would say this is pretty high for Americans to pay, because actually cost of servicing debt becomes even more expensive each year, but still there is no huge spikes and volatility moves in bond market actually. And if we would go to stock market, the pattern is, I would say, different, because stock market actually have been witnessing record highs. So if we are looking at beginning of October, like October 8th, October 9th, we are at all-time high levels, and this is across the markets, despite the huge drop from February to April in 2025, because world was rattled about new trade wars. Markets bounced back, leading by technology stocks. So I would say this is not the worst time for stock market as well. And even if this small fall for last couple of days might look bad, at this point of recording, it's still nothing. It remains to be seen whether it will drop to something more seriously. And then we have the most interesting market, I would say, of them all, which is a gold market, because gold market actually has been making serious gains in this year as well. It has made serious gains still, like 2022, when it moved from 1,700 to 4,000 as it is as the time of recording, which is October 2025. But it made more than 30% in this year alone. So all the tariff wars, all the instabilities, all the, I would say, uncertainties regards to wars, to economic policies and whatnot, it actually only had helped fuel the gold even higher. So different markets react differently to these announcements. Tariff announcements and uncertainties come and go. It looks like stock market has been shrugging this off because of the AI and technological revolution. They are making huge profits out of that, and people are using them. So if you're following stock markets, you have to follow corporate profits and how companies make money regardless of what happens. That's our primary thing. And here's the thing. Yes, I know that we had government shutdown in the United States, but as you see, markets are completely ignoring this, because we had several government shutdowns before. And actually, people are not getting it seriously, because they believe that government shutdown is made by professional politicians which are making political gains, and they are not risking to lose much of that, because their own fortune and careers are at stake. So markets are ignoring it. And in regards to Fed policy, as you see also now that there are disagreements whether Fed are moving with interest rate cuts or whatnot, but as you see, markets are not making much to that, because each of them is making their own moves. Gold is getting even stronger each year because of the global uncertainty and central bank buying. Crypto is as volatile as it ever was, and stocks are rising because of the AI revolution. So what that means for investors: follow your markets, follow your strategy, and not be distracted by some new events you heard from Donald Trump, central banks, or any other politician. If something serious happens, be sure you wouldn't be able to forecast it, and it will be sudden move which will take by surprise anyone. So question for you is how to mitigate risks when something like that happens, not to forecast it. And this is key to successful trading and successful investing.